So Shirov actually came and was asking at breakfast. Yeah, he wanted to find out for himself what's happening here.
Yeah.
He came and he was asking Eddie about what's with this formula. And Eddie was explaining, and I remember Eddie was saying. Chess, nonsense, and analysis.
Here we go again. So, what are we looking at today?
Today we go back. We go back to the '96 Olympiad in Yerevan. It was actually a completely different time in terms of chess. I think
I love the chess there in Yerevan, Armenia.
A lot was happening though. One of the things that I remember just quickly, there was a time when I think there must have been something like a coup almost that happened. I don't remember the details, but I remember that at the square there were tanks. There were army tanks and this and that, and we were watching from our hotel room, and we went down.
This is during the tournament?
Yeah, this is during the event. But it was nothing, But Yerevan definitely had warm memories of it. And I actually went to see Tigran Petrosian's house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the one that was funded by the King's Indian Defense.
Beating the King's Indian.
Yeah.
And so very, very nice place and very warm people. And
Actually, my first overseas trip could have been my first international trip in general. It was the World Juniors in Yerevan.
Oh,
so that was cool. Yeah, I got to see it there as well, and very passionate about the chess there.
Absolutely, nice place. Yeah. Okay. So basically, this story is about that Olympiad, and it's the first round of the Olympiad, and we are playing against Israel. So what happens is that before the round, the captain of Israel gives. Now our captain is the late. He was SA Open champion actually, Chess president. An amazing guy, Eddie Price. Mr. Eddie Price, and anyone who knew Eddie will tell you about the stories that he always had, and all the theories. He had a theory about everything, and anyway, we get this this gift from the captain of Israel, given to us, and I could see Eddie scrambling, he's panicking, because he doesn't have anything.
Not prepared,
prepared to give back, So Eddie, being Eddie, he quickly thinks of something. Right? He grabs a page. I don't know where he got the paper from. Don't remember, but he grabs a paper. And so but now you have to remember that he's doing this whole motion after the captain of Israel gives him the present, because the games haven't started. We're all sitting there. There's normally commotions happening before the first round. It's because there's going to be some speech and blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So this is all before, that's that situation. And we're playing on stage because, Israel is one of the strong teams. So, and I remember actually in that Olympiad.
What's board one for Israel?
Smirin.
Okay.
Smirin. Okay. I don't think Gelfand was playing. Smirin. But I remember because Russia was not too far away, but Kasparov was not playing the first round. But there was this young from Russia then.
Bottom board.
Then, I think he was board 4, and he was walking around nervously because he's playing for Russia, and Peter Svidler.
Oh, I thought you meant the guy with the longer hair.
No, he played. Kramnik was 92.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Svidler was
It was
96.
Svidler, okay.
Yeah. Peter Svidler was the new guy,
Okay.
And is walking around but anyway, when I say Svidler, there's another funny story. I'm gonna come back to this. Just something came to my mind.
Okay.
This was in Bled, in later now. Bled was 2012. I don't know, 2002. No, sorry, 2002.
Okay.
Was Bled. So I was watching this match, and Russia. I don't remember who they were playing. But one is Gary Kasparov. Okay, in that match, and they strong grandmasters. But Peter Svidler is also in the mix, playing for Russia. Now, Svidler in those days used to walk around a lot when he was younger.
Okay.
And Kasparov is thinking, So Svidler makes his move, gets up and walks, and Kasparov makes his move, and then Kasparov gets up, looks at Svidler's position. He rushes to get Svidler. He grabs Svidler by the arm, right?
Okay.
And then Svidler turns around, and Kasparov shows him to the board, like, sit.
Okay. Okay.
Svidler, looks at Kasparov, immediately rushes to his chest, sits down, and starts working,
Okay.
So I'm not sure, probably, I thought probably Kasparov wasn't happy with Svidler's position. It's like, man, that position,
you need to go work.
You need to go work,
Yeah.
And he sat there and worked. But anyway, that was just thought.
Okay.
But anyway, so Russia, when we played, because we were on stage, they were not too far, we were like, obviously, Russia, all those stars, you're just watching, like, what the Russian team, what are they doing?
Yeah.
So anyway, so what I was saying is that this motion, after he's given the present, he doesn't mention like I don't have a present or whatever, excuses himself, whatever. He's turning around. So now it's everything that he's doing. Basically, the captain of the Israeli team is now sort of expecting something in return. You know what I mean? Like the way he's acting, Eddie, and he's got nothing.
Okay.
So
time scramble.
Time scramble. Eddie gets some page from somewhere, and Eddie puts the page down. I'm getting very interested in all this.
Okay.
Thinking, well, what's happening here? I mean, I'm getting very interested in all this.
Yeah.
Eddie puts down the page and he scribbles something on the page. He scribbles something, scribbles, and then gives the captain of Israel this page.
Okay.
And the captain is puzzled now. I mean, what's happening?
Okay.
He takes this page, and and Eddie says, "Yeah, that's the formula of what you would use if you were to go through the world. If you're trying to get to the other side, that's the formula you would use."
Okay. That's useful.
So anyway, I mean, so it's a funny story. I mean, that is just very funny. And what actually happens is that it makes the rounds. I mean, it's so unbelievable, right? That it actually makes the rounds in the Olympiad about this weird captain of South Africa who gave a formula to go the world. So I remember that one of the days, and Shirov, because he had befriended, George, and so Shirov actually came and was asking at breakfast. Yeah, he wanted to find out for himself what's happening here.
Yeah.
He came and he was asking Eddie about what's with this formula, and Eddie was explaining, and I remember Eddie was saying, yeah, you probably could use the cart you have to use for shopping, the shopping cart. Yeah.
Okay.
He says you probably could sit in a shopping cart with a helmet and you would use this formula and you would go. It was amazing. Ed Sheeran was almost on the floor laughing at this. Wow. I just couldn't believe it. But anyway, it was like a really beautiful a story that actually at the end of the day it just so happened to be actually a good present, because I think the story made the rounds. I mean, in a beautiful way,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
Anyway, so anyway, the game I'm going to show comes from that match. I mean, Israel was ridiculously strong. I think on board one, I'm actually not sure now if Gelfand was playing, but didn't play the first round.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm saying why, because I think on board four, Husman was playing. I think board one for that match, one was Smirin, two was Altaman, three was Psakis, and four was Husman.
Okay.
Formidable.
Nice team.
Yeah. But the interesting thing is that on board one, the game which we will see now, George was winning against Smirin. Definitely big advantage. I had a very interesting position, and at one stage I could actually almost force a draw,
Okay.
which I missed as black against Altaman. And on board three, I lost. On board three, McLeod drew with against Psakis.
Okay.
And then we lost board four. I'm not sure. I don't remember who played on board four, but we lost board four. Husman won.
Okay.
So, but I mean, if everything had gone well, we could have gotten 1.5 points from Israel. But if you think about it, if I held the draw, then George played on. We could even have gotten it to 2-2.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, you know. So anyway, let's jump into this game and see how how George manages to get this huge position against Smirin. So yeah, he plays white. So okay, it's D4, and Smirin almost always plays, of course, the King's Indian. Yeah, he's written a book now recently, King's Indian Warfare.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a copy.
How recent is that?
I don't know, but it's pretty recent. I got it at the Chess Olympiad. Like,
Okay,
I have
nice.
a copy of that, and beautiful book. I mean, that I'm going through. You know.
That's always interesting when they release a book on the King's Indian, because nowadays with modern computers, they're always pressing for it almost to be refuted. Then someone comes up with another book, and it inspires you in different ways. So
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you know, so we're talking about a connoisseur here of the King's Indian playing with the black pieces, and okay, George plays the Samish, variation. So okay, let's see, 97, 22. C5.
C5. Okay, so he doesn't go the direct C5, right? He goes 97 and C5.
Yes.
Okay.
I remember that then this used to be all the rage, because I remember that, you know, Nan played this very beautiful game as black against Beliavsky, I think, if I'm not mistaken, where they go like 95, Bishop G5.
Yeah.
And Nan played here. Did he play A6 as well, or did he? Yeah, but it was like this, and then you know he played against Beliavsky in a beautiful game by John Nan. It was. I remember that game. So yeah, this was the system. Okay.
Actually, I might also remember that game.
Yeah.
I got some flash of it. It's actually
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Plays against
Get what you're saying.
I think Beliavsky is.
I'm not sure who his opponent was, but the structure, none rings a bell actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, plays A6. So basically, black wants white to overreach, and so the knight on E5 is something like a like if you imagine an Alekhine, E4, knight F6, E5, knight D5, D4. So black is saying, okay, either you leave my knight alone and I have this nice outpost on E5, or you push my knight away, but for that you have some weaknesses. For example, E4 is no longer adequately defended, and then I can try to get some play. So either way, black is saying, I'll get some play either way, whether you push my knight or not.
Yeah.
So interesting stuff. So yeah, F4 is definitely the most critical. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, and then here, of course, in these positions, there is always the threat of B5. Yeah, and there are many tricks and traps, and you have to be careful because B5 can come in any way. It can be like some kind of a bank or very good version for black. So a4 is logical.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we go on. Close queen a5, knight f3. Okay, at the moment, b5 is not a threat because you can just take everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
White's got way too many pieces.
Bishop takes, you can play bishop takes b5. Yeah. And I think there were some games where I remember this, something where black even tried to sack the queen and take on a1, take on h1, but it never really worked nicely for black, those structures. Anyway, Smirin plays e6, this looks very logical.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, George was always a very concrete player and not afraid, He takes on e6. And then, because it's the most critical, because otherwise, if you don't take, black will take themselves on d5.
Rook e8 is coming.
Or and b5 also,
Yeah.
either rook e8 or b5. So you have to, it's like forcing your hand. So it takes on e6 and then plays bishop, rook d1 first, But okay, of course, this is very interesting because in a King's Indian, even though you cannot do it now because of like knight takes e4, queen takes knight e4, but in a King's Indian, it's always here you would take on e6 check, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah, but I meant with rook d1.
Rook d1 first.
Yeah, knight b6, like
Okay,
then knight e4 for sure, right? And So in a King's Indian, the pawn on d6 is almost always it's better for white just to keep it weak and stop it from moving forward. Remember that famous Karpov-Kasparov game? Where Karpov's pieces were all in the first rank.
The Karpov was packing his pieces.
Yeah. So he took on d6. Not, I mean, in a similar structure, Karpov and Kasparov's pieces all exploded into the game. So
Okay, so white also bishop d3.
So George plays it properly. Bishop d3 keeps everything in queen b4, and now you see he's not afraid. He's not afraid, and he's actually calculating, because if takes on c4, I think he'll take and play e5. That is what he will play, and trouble for black, isn't it? I mean, it looks very dangerous. Knight takes c4, bishop takes, queen takes e5. Definitely, black. The black army is not ready for all this, right? So we don't even have to calculate. We have to know for sure that this is always going to be bad for black.
White pieces are standing nicely.
White just only has to find the moves, isn't it?
Okay.
So,
black goes bishop d7.
Bishop d7, trying to get the pieces in. b3, a nice move, because you cannot play queen takes b3 because the knight is hanging. Rook b1, and we will take then the knight on b6.
b3 consolidates everything. Bishop c6.
Bishop c6, and now queen c2, defending e4. 7. What a move.
Okay, here we go. We are done preparing. Let's go.
And actually, it's a very brave move, because you would think that the black squares, you are giving black squares. But as you can see, white has never been afraid. He's not afraid at all. Queen on c2, bishop is really going for those white squares. Now, for me, I think e takes f5 is a weird move, because the bishop and the queen are exploding into it, right? Into the game. But it's not so easy to recommend the move. I don't know. Maybe rook a8, something like this.
d5 square is eventually just gone, right, for black.
Just exchange
or something.
I'll just exchange there. But black is
probably something like that. EF looks a bit strange.
EF is just dangerous.
Okay, so black goes EF.
But I think also, for me, it's such a reaction that possibly Smirin is not expecting George to be playing so accurately, so many moves. It's like he's expecting the first round. He's expecting a little bit of an easier game. And I think if he gets this type of thing on round 5
then he'll
be much more acclimatized and expecting it, right? I think here you can see he's caught. He's not expecting this type of accuracy from George. Yeah. And George just played like a beast here. Takes on F5, G4. And actually, truth be told, you remember, I think in one of the things we were talking about, the team dynamics and importance of players with the white pieces and how it, this position, it sets the tone for the.
You are happy to see this from the other boards.
Yeah. And the thing was that, it set the tone for all the other boards of Israel. Because now they are looking at this, and the loss on board 1 is a very big possibility here. Look at this.
Yeah.
And I remember, because my opponent had the white pieces, and they had a nice control, like it was like some Dutch, and they had some nice control, okay, small advantage, but because of this, and they started sort of losing the thread. They lost the thread completely, and at some point, I started getting some activity, and
okay.
I started myself playing, and so and I think on board 3, a mark against Psakic, he sacrifices a pawn somewhere and gets like ridiculous activity. So it's not looking good. And I remember in this match, because we're on stage, and Israel looks, they looked in trouble in the first 3 boards. And the rest of the other seeds, because they're having it relatively easy, and they were just swarming and around, kibitzing, watching, what's going on. It looked like an upset was on the cards. Yeah. So
knight A2 was just played. You think the queen, of course, the knight was hanging on.
Yeah. Knight was hanging. Yeah, this is just gone.
Wow.
This is gone.
It's delved into the king side over there.
Yeah.
5.
Sure. Takes. Yeah. Remember, we had analyzed this. There was a move with Rook F7 that we analyzed also. Then, okay, what did he play? Bishop takes. I think we said Rook F7, something like this. Yeah. But okay, this was like before some serious computers. We were analyzing as a team, But I think we thought something like this was winning something. I don't remember the details, but we did find a win.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, George played check, King G7, and then. But I remember even the final position that he had given was actually a much better. Look at this position.
Wow.
Beautiful move, knight d5. Because if Rook takes e6, Queen h7, then.
Nice.
Beautiful. Dead. Black is dead.
Whoa.
Black is dead. Yeah.
And this is where they agreed to draw.
Did it not go on?
Says.
Yeah. I mean.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was there some time pressure also? No, it's a long way.
I don't remember because I was. But I was myself involved in some serious time pressure on my own board. But I think, I don't know. I think also, in this position, in this situation, sometimes you also feel like you don't want to lose 4-0 sometimes, I think the other boards were starting to look a bit shaky maybe or whatever, and decided that, okay, let's have something at least scoreboard. But I think white is comfortably ahead.
Yeah, no, white is looking good, but nice game here by Miklos. Nice game. Brilliant. And Smiran certainly got a bit of a wake-up call there.
Yes.
So
very, 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 very nice game.
Interesting story there for the first round 96 Olympiad.
Yes.
Okay. Nice one.
Yeah.
So I think that is all for today, right?
Yeah, that's enough nonsense for today.
And if you liked what you've seen, then don't hesitate to smash that subscribe button and let everybody know around you to do the same. And we'll see you for the next one. Cheers.